Hey, Tom Colicchio here. Okay, so for a holiday side that I love, I usually do this on Thanksgiving. If I'm doing a roast, I think it works really well. Brussels sprouts, perfect for the season. Bacon and onion, real simple. Take the bacon, just cut it straight across, and then onion. I'm using a red onion for no other reason except that's what I have in the house right now. I don't have any white onions. But red onions I like. Actually, I think more and more these days I'm using red onions. They're a little milder, a little color, And then we'll take the onions and I'm just going to slice them across. They don't need to be diced or anything. So we're going to add our bacon to the pan. And the pan it doesn't need to be hot. This is important. It's too often I see cooks, both at home and professional. The pans are way too hot, smoking, burning, flames shooting out over the place. You don't need to do that. So we're gonna let this just sweat for a while. Again, nice and slow. We'll let this go for a little bit to render out a lot of the fat. Because the fat that renders out of the bacon is what we're gonna use to cook the onions in and the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so now we have our onions. We're going to add them. And again, I'm not raising the heat. Notice the whole time it's on low heat. And the bacon is actually quite crisping up right now. And again, I'm not raising the heat. I'm not looking to also, I don't want color on these onions. I just want to sweat them. And we're going to add a little salt. Always important to season as you go, not only at the end. At the end, you're just adjusting the season, but you want to season as you go. Some black pepper. And then again, this is going to take a while too now because we're cooking on very low heat. Okay, so now we have onions are done, bacon kind of getting crispy. Onions have still a little crunch left, but they're going to continue to cook. We're going to add our Brussels sprouts. Now, what I'm not going to do is dump these in here all at once. And there's a reason for it. So I'll put a little bit in to start, get a little toss around. The reason being, right now the temperature it's a low temperature we're cooking on. But there's a sizzle. You hear that sizzle, right? Because right now I'm doing a few things. I'm obviously looking at what I'm cooking. I'm also listening for the sizzle. So if I were to crank this up, if I were to turn this all the way up, obviously it would start to sizzle really fast. Cooking too fast. So I want to turn this down. Now what I'm doing is what happens is if I were to dump all these Brussels sprouts in at once, it would really lower the temperature too quickly because the energy that's in the pan right now would actually go into the Brussels sprouts and it would lower the temperature too much. So that's why I'm going to add a little at a time. We have our Brussels sprouts. They are cooked. You see how they're nicely browned and nice and evenly cooked. No crunch left. They do need a little more salt. And then what I'm going to do is add a little more fresh sage at the very, very end. Just to echo those flavors that are already there. And that's it. Have our Brussels sprouts with onion, bacon, and sage. There you go.